Again, the FBI now releasing these photos showing the suspect right near Bourbon Street before the deadly attack. And right there in the middle is that cooler that's been talked about a lot over the last several days. Now, a lot of people experience this firsthand, and we've brought you their stories, but also the stories of those who lost their lives in this attack. I do want to bring in Zion Parsons. He was on Bourbon Street that morning, and sadly his friend was killed in the attack. Zion, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us and share what happened.
No problem. It's
all right. Well,
a privilege to be here right about now. I'm blessed to even still be alive after everything that happened. It was just so horrific and unlike anything I've ever seen.
Can you start by walking me through what happened?
So we were at the beginning of the street, right where Bourbon and Canal meet, I believe, or at least that's what I've heard. It was my first time being there, and we were only supposed to be there for a few hours, but the Ford F-150 comes barreling, down the street, hitting everybody, and it was me, Nikyra, and her cousin, and it just happened unexpectedly. It came out of nowhere. We thought she was right behind us. We ended up seeing CCTV footage from afterwards to show that she ended up running directly into the street and was hit, sadly.
Did you realize at first what was going on?
No, I didn't. Not at the beginning. I seen a lot of people running, but I would turn my head and, met the headlights of the truck, and I was only given about a millisecond to jump out of the way.
What was Bourbon Street like prior to the situation there? I imagine, because we're talking about New Year's and it was only a few hours after midnight, that there were probably a lot of people. The surveillance photos that we've seen show a lot of folks around.
So many people that I've never been, but I just know, like, in the morning time, I was, still walking around Bourbon because I had no ride. So in the morning time, when I first awoke, it was just not that many people at all because, of course, of what happened. But that night, it was just so packed. It was so many people.
Tell me about your friend. As you said, you thought that she was with you all, and then you looked back. Tell me about her.
Nikyra Dedeaux, truly just an amazing soul. Like, she was always so energetic. She was so smart. She was going to college real soon. Everybody around her just loved her. She was raised by an amazing woman. Her mother, Melissa Dedeaux, truly raised such an amazing young woman. She had a good job. She stayed out of trouble. She was never in trouble with the law, anything like that. It was just, she was about to go to college in 2 weeks to become a nurse. She worked at a hospital. She had a good job, made good money. Like, man, fun to be around. Just a ball of sunshine, man. Everybody loves her. Everybody.
Have you had a chance to process this, both what you experienced and the loss of your friend?
Not really. It's only what is it? January 3rd?
Yeah.
It's the third. No, it's the 3rd. Oh. It's the 3rd. So, just it still feels unreal, man. Like, truly, what I seen on Bourbon and seeing her like that and everything, it's unreal, man. It doesn't feel real. Like, there's no way that this is happening, but it is. I've come to terms with it, and I just want to make sure that people know this isn't about me. This is about Nikyra and getting her story out there and just, helping her family, pray for her family. And I'm just blessed to be here. I'm alive. I'm good. But her family, man.
Zion, is there anything else that you want to add here before I let you go that you want to make sure people know?
When we were on Bourbon Street, we weren't drinking, we weren't smoking, we were just kids there to have fun. We were outside the clubs listening to the music. We didn't enter any clubs, we didn't go into any bars. We simply were there listening to the music and enjoying our time. We weren't doing anything bad, we didn't do anything to nobody. And Nikyra never did anything to anybody. It was just wrong place, wrong time, and the freak act of terrorism from, Lord knows where.
And the last question, I just thought of another one. When you mentioned terrorism, what goes through your mind when you realize that it was a terror attack?
I had no idea at first. At first, the first thing I thought of was, an altercation between, two individual people. Like, how people get angry and they'll, do things that they normally wouldn't because everybody out there was, either drunk or using substance. So that's what I originally thought, but come to find out that it was a terrorist attack. And, that's what made it, such a big deal, worldwide. And it just is sickening, man. It's sickening because out of all the things, out of all the places, it just happened to be in that place right there. And it took a very close friend of mine and a very close friend of a lot of people, it took my friend, but Miss Melissa, she lost her daughter.
Zion, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you, your family, and her family as well, of course. Thank you again for taking the time to join us.
No problem.